Okay, so I just had the biggest breakthrough when it comes to understanding our reality and our experience here. And so I'm going to explain it to you in this video. Please stay for it. Like, I hope this blows your mind if you understand at all what I'm saying. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain it in the best way possible because I don't have like video clips and stuff that I would like to be showing. I just really want to get it out there and just have it known that this is my video, this is my content. I'm just really excited about this. So I don't know, I'm going to share it with you. Basically, if you know anything about duality, non-duality, if you've heard anything about the double slit experiment as well, this is what I would just want to talk about here for 1 second. So in the double slit experiment, there's one example, at least in the videos like that I have watched, there's one example where, the particle goes through as expected, like when it's observed, I believe it's when it's observed, it goes through as expected, the two slits, and it ends up on the other side and it creates these two lines that are completely to be expected, right? Okay, so that represents when we are expecting an outcome in a specific decision, then we only have one of two options. It either goes our way or doesn't go our way. That's the outcome that we're expecting, right? And so if we live our lives like that and we have this expectation of how life goes and we look at life also linearly, then we end up having a past and a future. Those two lines can represent the past and future. And then you create this gap in between that is like your bridge. So you have to fill that gap with things to connect the two lines, because those two lines, this is going to sound weird, are representing two halves of yourself. They're representing the feminine and the masculine half of yourself. Like literally, the other way that I could say it is representing one version of you in the past and one version of you in the future. And this is kind of like how they are when you start life. And then when you go throughout life, you create more and more spaces like between those versions of you. Like you keep making this bridge between them that gets longer and longer and longer as you keep expecting outcomes and you keep seeing life linearly. Okay, so just hang with me here. I know this probably doesn't make a lot of sense. I'll make another video on this, but okay, and then in the double slit experiment, when they did the other example where they did not observe it and it just goes through, it does this weird thing where it like goes through and creates these sort of interfering waves. Like the particles are sort of random. It creates these interfering waves and they cross over each other, okay? So this represents this shape that I've been seeing forever. I've been channeling and I'm wondering what the heck it has to do with. It's the X. It's the shape of an X, okay? So they cross over each other. Think of two lines crossing just like the letter X. So these lines crossing are your past and your future. So what's really happening in life when you are not observing outcomes is that your past self, you have two halves of you, let's just say. One of them moves through time forward and the other one moves through time in reverse. This is also to do with quantum physics. Like I've seen a couple videos somewhat mentioning this, but I've been literally researching this for so long and getting downloads about it. But yes, one version of you moves forward in, you could call time, and the other one moves backwards in time. And so what happens when you are not observing outcomes and you are open to whatever happens, like you're not expecting anything particular, then it's like the universe has all the potentialities open for you. And then now what can happen is that any potentiality can be chosen, and instead of your past self and future self being just these linear things, like you have one point where you start, one point where you end, now what happens is they collapse inwards, they fold over each other, collapsing time and space, they cross over each other, and they create this sort of what you could say like a dot in the middle of the X, where that's the present moment. It creates you in the present moment. It creates a version of you with a potential outcome that you did not expect. It's one that you may not have anticipated. You could have had the idea of something you wanted to happen, but you left it open, and now the universe comes in and fills the blank. And the cool part about this is that instead of moving linearly in time, you're moving both forwards and backwards in time at the same time. So then you aren't actually spending any time, as in you're not getting any older, is what's happening. Like I've been researching this for so long. I promise you, this is what I've been trying to figure out. I will explain this better in another video, but I'm so serious about this. This is so amazing. Like time is really represented by the wave, the particle. We're both particle and wave. So when we have this crossover of two things, of the two versions of you, we have this X, and the center point of that X ends up being a version of you that's both particle and wave pretty much at the exact same time. So then you end up being like this solid but clear being, rather than the typical way it's just two solid straight lines. That's like, think of yourself as either being just like solid made of stone, sort of moving throughout your life, like you see your body as fully solid, versus the other way, when you are living in the present moment and allowing for whatever outcomes to just come about spontaneously by the way of the universe. What happens is the universe works through you, reality flows through you, and you end up being almost like, you could think of it like a diamond. I don't know if you've heard about like crystallized beings. I don't know, I've seen some of those spiritual videos about it, but that's pretty much what you're being, is you're like a crystalline being. And so now reality can flow through you, and it's light. Reality is light, so light can pass through you effortlessly, and that's why it's also called enlightenment as well. Versus, once again, if you're just traveling through time linearly and you're expecting outcomes and you're observing every single outcome, expecting it to go a certain way, then those 2 points can never cross over each other. You're always going to be moving forward in time. You're never going to experience the thing that you truly want to experience if you continuously keep expecting it, because you have to be able to leave it open to the universe. The whole point of the universe is the spontaneity of it. It's the fact that, think of it kind of like entropy. Like if we were to try and pick something out of like this massive, I don't know, I've seen people talk about this before, where there's all these options and most of them are negative, and you're trying to pick like the one positive one, just like the lottery or something, you would have no chance of that, right? But then when it comes to the universe will pick that one out for you. It's like a bullseye every single time, because the X marks the spot. Just like buried treasure, it's all symbolism too. The universe speaks in symbolism. But anyways, it's like buried treasure. It's right in the center. It's right there. It's a bullseye, a perfect mark every single time if you leave it up to the universe. If you are not expecting a particular outcome and you don't know exactly when it's going to happen, and you leave it up to the universe, then it can literally be right every single time. Versus when you try to pick the right one, that's like picking one out of a gajillion options. So how likely are you going to be to get it right? Not typically. So this is why this is so significant. And really the key to this, the way to actually live this way, is to live in the present moment. I promise you, I've been practicing this. I've known parts of this before already, but time moves backwards and forwards. There's a version of you that's moving forwards in time and a version of you that's moving backwards, and they meet up often like whenever you're in the present moment. So people that live more presently, that have more joyous lifestyles, that are less stressed, they will tend to seem like they age slower, and this is why. So I really strongly believe that we can see humans that live a lot longer and have much less health issues if we start to live this way and start to practice this. And also, all health issues, whether you like it or not, I don't care what anyone has to say, come from energy. It's all energy. Everything is made up of energy. Energy is literally interchangeable. Like matter and energy, like they're the same thing. They're all the same thing. It's just light energy. And we're seeing it as solid. It's just the way that the particles are moving faster and slower. So energy that gets stuck in your body, it's because it can't pass through you properly. It's because you're being a solid being because you're expecting outcomes. Just like I said, when you're observing outcomes, you create yourself to be a solid being, rather than when you allow the universe to choose for you, when you let go of things and you live presently, you become a clear being, almost like a crystal, and now light can pass through you effortlessly. And that's why energy doesn't get stuck in your body. And when energy doesn't get stuck in your body, you don't end up with disease and all these other problems, because all health conditions are caused by energy. It is energy, because energy is what creates the physical problem that you see on the outside. That's what it is. It's all energy, and energy is emotion, energy in motion. Energy is just moving throughout the body back and forth all the time. It's just like a ping pong ball or something. Anyways, please let me know what you think of this video, and I swear, don't copy my content, because this is really important to me and I'm really excited to share it. So just let me know your thoughts. Thank you.